beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing lemonade braids, aka feeding braids. I use 1.5 pack of X-Pressions. It wasn't pre-stretched, but I had to do it, which I hate, but we have to do what we have to do because everyone's quarantining and everything's closed. So yeah, I'm just showing you a better version of what we're going to be doing. So when it comes to feeding braids, you have to be patient, you have to be consistent, and you have to take your time. So I usually, you're supposed to start off with the client's hair because you don't want to start off by adding extension to the very front of their hair because that's going to cause a lot of tension. So you start off with their actual hair, you're going to braid it a little bit and then feed in your smaller piece of hair. So the second piece is bigger than the first piece I just feed in. So when you're feeding in, you hold one portion, you braid it down and let this side go, braid a little bit, and then feed in the other side because you don't want to feed both of them in. And it's when you feed both in, it doesn't look like a natural plait like it's looking right here. It's gonna look bulky and very unnatural. So you want to feed in one piece, let the other piece go, like I'm doing right here. Let that side go. I'm really extra, guys. You don't have to throw that piece as extra as I'm doing. You can slowly let it go on the other side and then feed the other side. But me, I like to be very extra. I don't even do it on purpose, but anyways, it just happens. Feed it in, let one portion go, and then feed in the other portion. And you really have to eye the braid that you're working on. Right here, I think my braid that I'm working on is the same size as the previous braid, as you can see. So I'm not going to add any more hair until the end because you don't want to feed in hair from the beginning to the end. Then it's not gonna look natural. It's gonna be too big, too small. So you have to vision and listen to the client and tell them, listen to whatever size they want. She wanted a small to medium, so you have to really pay attention. So I'm not adding anything in the middle, and then at the end you want to add a couple of strands depending on the size that you want, because you don't want the braid itself to be thick and then the ends be really thin. So they all have to match. So I'm adding in my last piece. I'm going to braid all the way down and then go on to the next braid. When you're braiding down the hair that's going to hang, you literally have to braid very softly. You don't want to braid too tight because it's going to be very stiff and it's not going to look natural. So you want to braid as soft as you can. So when the braid lays down, it lays down very effortlessly. So here, I'm showing you how I clean up my parts. I use Shine Jam, my favorite. I use it on every braid that I do. It adds shines. It helps clean up my part. It helped me clean up my part because we all know parting can be really difficult. And it just helped clean up the overall look of the style, basically. So Shine Jam is my best friend. I just put it at the beginning, in the middle. I put it everywhere. You don't want to saturate it too much. You want a light portion. So as you can see in the back, I usually use a chair. I'm not like the typical stylist that use the rack. I went on Amazon one day and it says $50 and I was like, goodbye. I was not about to buy that rack for $50 when I have my chair. So yeah. But yeah, I'm doing the same thing right here. Starting off with the client's hair, feeding in the smaller portion of the braiding hair, and then just braiding it together. Take your time. You don't want to rush through this. You want in order for the braids to be neat, you have to literally take your time, guys, and detangle the hair, because the braiding hair sometimes are so annoying. They get tangled up and you have to detangle for your life. So take your time, detangle, and be patient. See right there, yep. So as you're braiding, you have to detangle too, because you don't want to braid without detangling the ends, because at the end of the day, you're adding in pieces, and for those pieces to be smooth at the end, you have to detangle it out. So yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm making sure each braids are the same size. I'm detangling. I'm taking my time. I'm adding in my last piece before braiding to the end, and then gonna add in my extra last piece. So from here forward, I'm not gonna add any more pieces, because as you can see, the braid that I'm working on right now and the previous braids seems to be the same size. So I'm not gonna add any more hair, because adding hair is gonna make the braid that I'm working on bigger than the previous, and we don't want that. We do not. We do not. So I'm gonna braid, and when I get to the end, I'm gonna add my last piece of hair. As you can see, my parts is not straight, it's like slanted a little. When you slant, I was about to say when you slanted. When your parts are slanted, I feel like the lemonade braids look more natural and they fall natural, because you don't want it to be very strict. Then when the hairs get to the front, you just have a bulk of hair right there. So your part has to be a little bent, if that makes sense. So you just braid to the end. Use a little bit of Shine and Jam to clean up the flyaways. And again, I'm just gonna fast forward this part because I feel like I've explained it well. If you guys think I need to explain more, I'll definitely make another video, but I'm basically doing the same thing over and over again. Starting off with the client's hair, feeding in the smallest portion to the large portion. And remember, you do not have to feed in hair from the beginning to the end. It doesn't work like that. You feed in 1 to 2 pieces at the beginning, 2, 3, or 4, depending on the size, at the beginning, and then braid in the middle. And then when you reach in the end, feed in a couple of pieces so the hair that's hanging is not super thin compared to the braid size. And also remember to detangle, because that's really important to give you that smooth braid look. We are done. I'm adding in some mousse to help give it an extra hold and shine. And I like to use my blow dryer to set it in. I hope you guys like this video. I know we're quarantined, so if you're getting clients, make sure they're wearing their mask, and make sure you are washing your hands and you're disinfecting every product. Well, not every product, you're disinfecting every chair. Anything the clients touches, make sure that it's disinfected. Yeah, we are done. It's looking so good. So good. So good.